Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
To be honest with you, I don't even know why Aaron is coming back this season. It was a disaster with the Jets. Obviously, he had the injury, right? That's basically, it's unpreventable. It is what it is. You can talk about the offensive line, which is fine. Everybody's talked about the offensive line with the Jets. But if you want to get down to brass tacks and then cover last season, you can say Aaron was good, but he wasn't great. And the team certainly wasn't good. Obviously, he had problems with Coach Robert Selah. He had probably issues with everything else. He brought in Nathaniel Hackett. That was a big part of him, I'm sure. That didn't work out for anybody. Somebody's going to go, well, he only threw 11 picks last year. Yeah, but did you see the Vikings game? I mean, that was telling of who Aaron is all the way. 3 interceptions, missed the guy wide open towards the end of the game when they still had a chance. And don't forget, by the way, he didn't play in the preseason. He didn't practice, and he didn't scrimmage because there was rain outside. Everybody else had to. Everybody else had to be at practice. Everybody else had to scrimmage. But Aaron, he's good. He gets an exemption. I mean, he was given everything that he wanted, and he still couldn't perform. And let's not talk about the way things ended in Green Bay. There were rumors about him and LaFleur, but he claims that it was for the betterment of everybody. But he got upset because the Packers didn't run it by him first before they drafted a quarterback. Because that's what NFL teams are supposed to do. They're supposed to run it by their players before they draft another player. Hey, is this okay with you? Because what if Aaron gets hurt and the season's over, just like what we saw with the Jets? You want to have a backup that is going to be a good option and potentially the starter when you decide to go. Let's be honest. Aaron wasn't getting any younger at that point. Nobody knew what he was going to do. He was already starting to pull his Brett Favre's and hold out for this beginning of the season and everything else that he was doing, not showing up to OTAs and everything else. Then he had alleged issues with Mike McCarthy. Let's not forget that. According to a report from CBS Sports from back in, 2019, players were saying that Aaron didn't like him because he, quote, had a low football IQ, which say what you want to about McCarthy, but when you're having problems like that and you're creating division within the locker room, you're now becoming a cancer. I mean, isn't that the same type of stuff that so many people have said about, I don't know, T.O.? So if we're going to give T.O. that label, why are we giving Aaron Rodgers that label? Why are we giving him a pass that we're not giving to other athletes? Aaron got the pass of so many people saying that he was better than Tom Brady at quarterback strictly because he was more mobile. So he had one factor, and so many decided that he's better than Tom Brady. That proved to be incorrect. Let's not forget about the issues that he had with players while he was in Green Bay. Receivers always want to play with his buddies. Why can't we get my best friend to come and hang out with me? Because, bro, it's the NFL. That's why. Because this isn't backyard football. We don't get to pick our best friends to be on our team. That's why. I'm not saying that the Packers or the Jets or anybody shouldn't run things by their guys. Hey, what do you think if we get this guy, right? You think he would fit well into our system? You think he'd be a good backup? If we took him maybe 3rd or 4th round, 1st round, whatever. Hey, what do you think if we got this wide receiver? Have you heard anything about it for some of the other guys? We're just checking your opinion. We're not going to use you for a final decision, but we would certainly like some input. That's a completely different story. But Aaron never made it seem like that's how the Green Bay organization was coming across for him. He made it sound like they just went out and deliberately picked a quarterback to snub him or tick him off or whatever the case was. Everything other than making football decisions. I've said already that I don't know if it's going to work out between him and Tomlin. And I don't know if it's going to work out between him and Tomlin because Tomlin doesn't play that. He's too much, I don't want to say hard head, but he's much stronger mentally than I think some of the coaches that Aaron has dealt with over the course of his career. And I'll be honest, I think you press him the wrong way and you're benched or traded immediately. Whatever he's going to do is whatever he's going to do. And I don't think Tomlin is going to take pressure from the organization. I don't think he's going to take pressure from the fans. I don't think he's going to take pressure from anybody. The minute you do this, look, if he would have pushed Mike Tomlin the same way that he pushed Robert Selah, I guarantee you it's a different story. That, and I feel like probably everybody on that team would have come running up. Bro, what is your problem? We good? That would have been handled very differently had it been Tomlin. So if Aaron wants this thing to work out in Pittsburgh, which if I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't have signed him to begin with. If he wants it to work out in Pittsburgh, though, we're here. We got to do it. It's got to start with him and Tomlin. And then it's got to be all season long. Period. Speaking of get right, March Madness, they're looking to add more teams. The committee wants to make it up to 76 teams right now. But they're saying, oh, it won't be any more than that. Yeah. Well, it was never going to be more than 16. Then it was never going to be more than 32. Then it was never going to be more than 64. Here we are with 2 playing games. So, it's what, 68? Like you take 68. Then you had 32 for the NIT. That's 100 teams. So in postseason play, 100 out of the 364 D1 teams get to be in the postseason. That's literally better than 25%. How many teams do you need in NCAA tournament play? Because everybody's going to be in your conference tournament. Then the conference tournament, it's nonsense. And we look at some of these teams, ranked 30th. And by the way, this is from the official NCAA website. Ranked 30th is Baylor at 18-14. Ranked 39 was Texas at 19-15. Ohio State came in at 41 at 17-15. We go down a little bit further, and I'm skipping teams here, to 74. Kansas State is 16-17. Well, it's voting, bro. Come on, use your brain. Tell that to Bobby Knight, RIP, and the Red Raiders when he was coaching there. That record didn't matter. It only mattered because it was Bobby Knight. Do you really want to see a team with a losing record in postseason tournament play? I know I don't. Teams like Penn State were at 51 or something? It's just nonsense. With a losing record. 16-17. It's just, we don't need more teams. The tournament is good where it's at, but what does it all really boil down to? We don't know. We know what you're doing, Brody. If you want to extend your cash cow, just say that. I think people would be a lot more accepting of your honesty than your nonsense that you consistently try to cloud it in. What we're doing is trying to make it a more palatable and better opportunities for teams stop it. If the NCAA as a whole, and I've said this for Division I college football, I don't know how many times, if the NCAA as a whole, period, for Division I especially, would get rid of a voting system and use a rule system, we wouldn't be having this. Because if you create a rule system to get in, strictly rules, not vote in, not a guideline, this is kind of, the guideline and this is how you do it, we wouldn't be having this problem right here. where we feel like we have to add more teams. At least it wouldn't be justifiable. And it would be much harder to justify it, because if you have a rule system that is strict, then how do you get upset for not getting in, other than maybe we need to adjust this rule and go from there? But you don't do this stuff hanky-panky overnight, and this is what the NCAA continues to do. They meet in the dark on a whim. Well, we'll get it done in the next 2 weeks, which means, well, we can get everybody together for their afternoon Chardonnays, and then we can write everything down on a napkin. That's what they mean. I, for one, am over it, and I don't think we need more teams. And you can blame the transfer portal all you want to, but not everything is the transfer portal's fault. And not everything is the fault of the fact that they get NIL money now. It is strictly the NCAA, because they were discussing this before. It is strictly the NCAA and their need for greed. I don't know why we don't point to that anymore. I don't know why we pretend and act like the NCAA doesn't want more money, because they absolutely do. And they're going to do whatever it takes to get more money. So, stop it. Signing these big-time deals. What was it, a year ago? Dang near $1 billion to CBS for the exclusive rights to the Final Four. Come on, man. It's all about money. Speaking of basketball, obviously, NBA draft. That's going to be tonight, round 1. Kyrie, he got traded ahead of time. Or pardon me, Kevin Durant, he got traded ahead of time. Rockets gave up their 10th pick, so we're going to see how that goes. And Kyrie looks like he's going to forego his option, but he's going to sign with Dallas anyway, is what the rumor is. 3 years, $119 million. That's kind of uneventful to me, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, they look cool when he first got there. Him and Luka, man, they look like a fun team. But Kyrie looks like he's going to blend in with everybody when he first gets there. LeBron, Boston, KD, Luka. Now that he's not there, what are you going to do? I mean, Kyrie's already shown you that he really can't carry a team by himself. There was a time when a lot of us were going on and saying LeBron without Kyrie doesn't win a championship. And maybe that's still a legitimate statement. And Kyrie's going to put up his numbers, but are they going to win basketball games? That's the big question. Are you going to make the playoffs? And what kind of team does Kyrie need around him? I mean, if I'm being honest, man, and we go old school, I think Kyrie needs a 1-4 offense where he's just running the point and distributing the ball wherever he sees fit. But he's also going to put up the points on his own. So, he's a dribble drive, take it to the rack and figure it out from there. Run some actual motion plays. I think that kind of offense would suit Kyrie really well. But you got to get the right players for that type of offense, players that understand old school basketball. 90s, I think a triangle offense would work very well for Kyrie Irving. Help kind of get the team involved a little bit for moments when it can't all be on him, and then of course he's injury prone at this point. We all know that. I don't know. I just, at this point with Kyrie Irving, you're literally just signing a name. That's it. You're signing a name. If Kyrie was that good, I think he'd be getting more than what he's getting right now from Dallas. Especially in a 3-year time frame. That's a real short amount of time. And I understand NBA contracts are getting smaller and smaller, but they're also getting bigger and bigger. I guarantee you, if Steph would have signed a 3-year contract right now, he would have got 200-something mil. Maybe even 3. I don't think Kyrie gives you what you asked for anymore. Maybe there was a time when he did, but hey, he's slowing down, that's for sure. We'll see. Obviously, we'll see, but I take it from there. All right, everybody, I am Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan Radio. I am wherever You're listening to podcast. Just tell your device to play the Drew Duncan Sports Show. I am on YouTube and TikTok, the RL, meaning the real Drew Duncan. Everybody stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a wonderful rest of your night and or day.